I'd always known that the construction industry was a little bit behind in terms of its use of technology, and also its kind of continuous improvement as a whole was a little bit behind with construction. Everybody's seen those charts that show the amount of technology spend per industry, and the construction industry is always kind of in the bottom three. And so I always kind of knew there was an opportunity there for continuous improvement and for technology to come in and help the construction industry as a whole. The fact that I ended up at Kiewit was just kind of a luck of the draw. And then the fact that Kiewit kind of put InEight together and spun off InEight, and their technology that they had developed was just, again, kind of fell in my lap. So probably would have ended up in construction anyhow, because I saw a lot of opportunity for improvement there in the industry. The fact I ended up with Kiewit and InEight was just a huge benefit to me and kind of luck of the draw. It's hard to pinpoint because it's just something that's always been there. Like I never really questioned what I was going to do in university. I just kind of always assumed I was going to go into engineering. And it was, yeah, more so I like to understand how things got built, whether it be a building or a bridge or an airplane, or a software system. I like to understand the process of building it. So that was always something that kind of stuck in my mind. And so definitely construction was something that I thought about because it's one of the more accessible, easier things that you can see on a day-to-day basis being built, right? I mean, one of the questions that I remember I had growing up was just like those big tower cranes that you see building buildings. And simple question, but like, how does the tower crane get built, right? How do they keep building the tower crane taller when there's nothing else around that's as tall as the tower crane? And so it's those sort of kind of stupid questions when I was young that got me started thinking a little bit more and more about the construction process and how things got built, how buildings got built. And so, yeah, that was always, you could say that it was always kind of an interest of mine. The opportunity that we get to get in and help customers, construction companies, analyze their process from top to bottom, right? The construction process from estimating all the way to closing out a project and everything in between: document control, field execution management, contract management, all of that stuff we get to have conversations with our customers about. And that is super exciting, just to be able to help them analyze their current process. But what's even more exciting, and what is, I'm passionate about, is taking those processes, taking what I've learned from other customers, industry best practices, and then most importantly, our technology, and helping them sort of guide them into coming up with a more efficient way to run their business, right? And seeing those kind of light bulb moments with the customer, helping ask the right questions, as in, like, maybe this is how you've done it for 5 years in this role, but why are you doing it that way? What are the problems you're trying to solve? Do those problems come up? Let's take a step back and try to help figure out what that process is that you're doing and what problems you're trying to solve with it. So I think that what I'm passionate about is really just helping customers understand that there is a better way maybe to do something that they've been doing for a long time, and then to help them figure out exactly what that new process is going to look like. I've had the opportunity to see how people use technology in a manufacturing, from a manufacturing perspective, working in kind of aerospace manufacturing. I had an opportunity to see how people use technology and update their processes from like a mine equipment maintenance perspective, so a maintenance perspective. And now I get to see the construction industry and kind of help them out with their pain points. But you're absolutely right. The pain points that we talk about with customers on a daily basis are, quite similar between all customers, but then also similar to what I felt were pain points on my, first week on the job with Kiewit in the field. So seeing those pain points firsthand definitely helps. You can empathize with customers when they talk about their pain points, and you know what they're talking about, and you can understand them. I think it's a good career path because we're always going to have to be building things, and I think the more efficient we can build things, the safer we can build things, the faster we can build things, the making sure that we stay on budget. All of those things are super important, and they're never going to go away. And so, if you have a passion for technology, or even just kind of thinking outside the box, continuous improvement, I think construction is definitely the industry for you because there's still a lot of improvement that can be made. And there's a ton of opportunities, and it's not going to go away because construction right now is kind of, I would say, with the largest uptake in technology. They're kind of at that. If you imagine a hockey stick, I think we're just about to hit that super fast adoption of technology. And so anything to do with technology and construction, I think, is a great career path. And I think I would tell young people that have a passion for construction or technology or both is don't always assume that the construction companies have it figured out, right? Don't assume that if you have a passion for piloting drones and you think maybe a construction company would like to, for example, have somebody fly over their construction site if they're doing a big earth moving operation, and have the drone take the survey quantities for how much earth they've moved over the course of a day or every 6 hours, whatever it may be. Don't assume that the construction company has already weighed those options and either put them in place or decided not to do it, right? Like, I would always encourage people to go out there, and if you have a good idea, don't assume that somebody else has also had that good idea. Go out there and pursue it. Ask the questions, because I think you'd be surprised how often you get an opportunity that you may have passed up because you thought they'd already done it before. And then, yeah, ideas are just ideas. Everybody can have ideas. It's the execution of them that takes the work. And so if you've got an idea and you think somebody else had the idea, doesn't mean that they've executed on it. So keep that in mind as well.